Good morning. Welcome to gentle yoga this morning. Go ahead and grab yourself a blanket to have a seat on and maybe some blocks just for easier access to some poses that we might be doing this morning. And start by coming into a nice comfortable seat with crossed legs, a nice easy pose here. And taking a moment to do a few cleansing breaths. And you can start to close the eyes if you like, or just give a nice soft gaze towards the floor. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And starting to relax the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Once more, inhaling through the nose. Grounding down through your sits bones. Lifting up through the crown of your head. Tuck your chin slightly as you draw your shoulders back and down. So create a nice long spine here from tailbone to the top of the head. And breathing in and out through the nose, start to notice the quality of your breath. And I don't want you to change the breath here. I just want you to notice. And becoming aware of whether or not the breath gets stuck at the top of your inhale or at the bottom of your exhale. From here, we'll move right into three-part breathing. So you can place one hand at your heart center and then one at your low belly. And on your next inhale, start to fill your lungs from the bottom to the top. So we're inhaling, filling the lower lobe of the lungs, the middle lobes of the lungs, and all the way up into the upper lobes of the lungs. Reversing that on exhale, so emptying the upper lobes of the lungs, middle lobes of the lungs. And as you start to empty the lower lobes of the lungs, start drawing your navel toward your spine. So keep going here, inhaling, filling all the way up. Exhale, reaching into the lower lobes. And we can start to allow the exhale to become slightly longer here. You can count the breath if it's helpful, inhaling 3 to 5. Exhaling 5 to 8. Beginning to remove all thoughts. And just directing your mind inward. Focus on your deep breathing. And on your next exhale, just go ahead and bring your hands back to your lap. And gently start to blink the eyes open. Switch the foot that's in front. Readjust your seat. And go ahead and bring the hands together for a moment. We're just going to rub the hands together and start to create a little heat between the hands. From here, we'll do palming and cupping. So we're just going to cup the eyes with the hands, dropping the head into the hands, cupping the eyes, and just starting to feel the warmth around the eye sockets. Take a breath or two here. And then just moving right into a gentle massage of the forehead. And maybe some circular motions here at the temple. And then moving around the eye sockets. Down the bridge of the nose. Some circular motions on the cheeks. And then using your fingers to massage in front of and behind the ears. And along the jawline. I like to also make some circular motions here on the chin. And then maybe under the nose. From here, you can move right down into the neck, starting to massage the neck, and maybe even into the shoulders. And just taking a moment to notice any tightness in the body. Go ahead and bring your hands back together and just rub your hands together again vigorously. Just start to create a little heat once more. And from here, we're just going to start to massage the hand. So just making some circular motions in the palm of the hand. And keep with your 3-part breathing. The whole time throughout your practice, your breath is your main focus of your practice. It's just moving up and down each of the fingers. Maybe making some circular motions around the wrist. You can even think of massaging in between the bones in the hand. Rubbing the hands together again vigorously. Let's work on the same arm and just start to massage up the arm, the forearm, making some circular motions around the elbow joint, all the way up the arm, and circular motions around the shoulder. Just showing yourself a little love this morning. Go ahead and bring your hands back together, rubbing the palms together, create that heat. And we'll work on the other side. So again, circular motions in the palm of the hand. And then again, massaging up and down each of the fingers on the opposite hand. Some circular motions around the wrist. And then again, you can start to massage in between the bones in the hand. We can create a little heat once more and start to massage up this arm. So working on massaging the forearm and circular motions around the elbow. Moving up the arm. With some circular motions around the shoulder joint. And then go ahead and shake your hands out for a moment. And let's bring the hands together and start to lift the elbows to shoulder height and start to pull apart the fingers. Keep breathing. Shake it out. We'll go once more. So interlacing those fingers, bring the elbows up to shoulder height. Lift up through your crown. Breathe as you pull the fingers apart. Again, shake it out. Bring the forearms together, interlace your fingers, lift the elbows and start to make some circles with the wrist joint. Breathe. Switch directions. And then inhale, start to press through your palms, round your shoulders, drop your chin to chest. Exhale, release, re-interlace your fingers behind you and start to press down through the tops of the hands. Lift up through the heart, Maybe lift the gaze if it feels okay. Exhale, release. We'll give a few shoulder rolls here. And then bringing hands to your shoulders. We'll start by making some circular motions here, exhaling as you draw the elbows together. Inhale, opening. Moving through that crunching and cracking. Perfectly normal. Keep moving. Switch directions. Come on back to center here and we'll do a little ducky swim. So just moving the elbows forward, just continuing to open the body here, just finding some movement in the shoulder. And a little ducky backstroke. And release, shake out the hands. Let's go ahead and come off of the blanket. Actually, you can leave the blanket under your seat, but we're going to extend the legs out in front. So keep your blanket under your seat. And that's going to help to keep the hips lifted and can even help to bring your spine into more of a neutral alignment. So we'll extend the legs. And I just want you to point and flex the feet for a moment. So bring your hands next to your hips, press down through your palms, and just point and flex the feet. Lift up through your crown. And start to spread the toes nice and wide here. Breathe. Again, pointing and flexing. And we're just going to start to make some circles with the feet here. So just warming up the ankles. We'll move in one direction, so continue to breathe. Switch directions. Shake it out a bit. Maybe even lean back into the hands if it feels good to you. Lift up through the heart. Maybe lift your gaze and start to shake out the leg bone from the hip socket. Breathe. And then point and flex the feet a few more times here. We're going to scoot the leg bone back into the hip socket. And actually, from here, go ahead and swing your feet around. Let's move off of the blanket from here. And if you have your blocks close by, this can help to get you into position here. We're going to bring the blocks to the top of the mat. But before we use them, we're going to go ahead and come into a tabletop position. Now you can use your blanket under your knees if you need the extra cushion, but we'll start in tabletop with wrists under the shoulders, knees directly under the hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide and just gaze towards the top of your mat. Take a nice deep inhale and then exhale and draw your navel toward your spine. So create some stability in the spine here, protecting your low back. On your next inhale, we're going to start to lift the heart and look forward. Exhale, drop your chin to chest. Round your spine and drop your tailbone. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. Inhale, lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, drop your chin to chest, round your spine, drop your tailbone. Empty the lungs. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine. Inhale, lift up through the heart, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, tuck the tailbone, empty the lungs. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, press your hips back towards your heels. Keep the arms nice and long and active. We're just going to drop the ears in between the arms here. So ears in line with the arms. Inhale back to tabletop. We'll do that twice more. Exhale, sink the hips back. Arms are long, ears in line with the arms, best you can. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, press it back one more time. Now, before we come up into tabletop, I want you to inhale and look between your hands. Start to reach towards the top of your mat. And then exhale once more, ears in line with the arms. Look towards your navel. Inhale, look between the hands and start to walk the hands over to the left. So we're going to start to open up the right side body. Exhale, ears in line with the arms. Arms are nice and long. Again, looking towards the navel. Breathe into the right side body, opening up in between the intercostals. Breathe. Inhale, look between your hands, walk back to center, reach for the top of your mat, exhale, ears in line with the arms. Inhale, look between the hands, walk the hands over to the right this time. Exhale, ears in line with the arms, open up the side body, breathe. Inhale, look between the hands, walk back to center. We're going to inhale back into our tabletop position. And then I just want you to sway the hips side to side. Now, you can also keep the toes tucked under here, but we're just kind of giving the hips a little stretch here. All right, come on back to center. This time we're going to slide the right knee between the thumbs. And then I want you to tuck your left toes under and start to walk your knee back to wherever you feel comfortable. So we're coming into a modified pigeon pose. So you're sitting back on your heel. If you can't sit all the way back on your heel, that's okay. I'm just going to move the blocks forward a little bit. So the idea here is to lift the heart and look forward. Breathe. Try to square off your hips the best you can. You don't want this left hip lifted here, but you really want to square the hips the best you can. And then let's start to walk the hands down. So maybe we can come down to the forearms. You can use your blocks under your forearms if you like. So maybe here, or even here is okay. You don't want to feel any pinching in the low back though, so take your time. Maybe you start at the highest height and work your way down. Try not to sink into the shoulders, but really lift out of the shoulders here. Maybe you make it all the way down to the forearms. Maybe you come to resting the forehead on the forearms. Let's take one more breath here. Then we're just going to start to inhale and come back up into this pigeon pose. Bring your hands under your shoulders. We're going to slide this right knee back under the right hip. Left knee, we're going to slide forward in between the thumbs. You're going to tuck your back toes under and start to scoot your right knee back to wherever it feels most comfortable. And you can keep the toes tucked or you can untuck your toes, whatever feels best to you. And we're going to do the same on this side. So we're going to lift the heart. We're going to look forward. We're breathing. We're squaring off the hips. We're keeping the ears, keeping some distance between the ears and shoulders here. And then when you're ready, again, you can start to walk it down. Use your blocks if you need them. Maybe you're just at forearms on your mat. Again, try not to sink into the shoulders here, but really lift out of the shoulders. And then again, when you're ready, maybe bringing the forehead to the forearms. And from here, when you're ready, we're just going to start to bring the hands under the shoulders. Inhale, lift the heart, look forward. We're going to slide this left knee back under the hip. Slide the right knee forward under your hip. Get yourself readjusted into your tabletop position. And then we're just going to grab the blocks and place them to the left side of our mat. And you want a little space in between your blocks here, okay? You want them over to the left, but also a little space. We're going to come to tabletop position on the blocks. So hands on your blocks, spread your fingers nice and wide. Inhale, look forward. Take a breath or two here. Exhale, draw your navel towards your spine, so we're protecting the low back here. And then we're just going to swing this right foot around, and you can rest it right next to the outside of your block here. And I want you to notice that your knee and your ankle are in line with each other. Now, you can stay right here if you like. In fact, let's stay here for just a moment and take a breath. And then maybe start to rock back and forth a bit. So we're going to start to open up the hamstrings on the right side. Keep breathing, keep moving. Again, we're thinking about keeping the hips nice and square here. So come on back into your lunge. And let's bring the blocks up to highest height. So we're up at highest height. Our knee and ankle are still in one straight line here, stacked on top of each other. Knee on top of the ankle. And then from here, I want you to go ahead and interlace your fingers on top of your right thigh. So hips are square. Let's lift the heart and look forward. Take a few breaths here. One more breath. Bring your hands back down to your blocks. This time we're going to press the hips back. And then you can bring your blocks a little closer to your body. So we're hinging at the hips. And if it's available to you, you can stay here, nice and high. Or if it's available to you, maybe bring forearms to the blocks. And we'll take just 3 breaths here. Look forward. One more breath. Inhale back into your lunge. Bring your blocks back down to their lowest height. We're going to swing this right foot back around. So we're back into our tabletop. And then maybe sit back on your heels for just a moment. Or just come up onto your knees. So if this is too much on your knees, again, you can bring your blanket under your knees. Create some stability or some cushion so that this pose can become a little more accessible to you. And then we're going to move the blocks over to the right side. And we're just going to go through the same posture here on this side. Again, there should be some space in between your blocks. Go ahead and come into your tabletop position on this side. Inhale, look forward for just a moment. We're going to swing this left foot around, place it on the outside of that block. Knee and ankle are stacked. And we can just start by rocking back and forth a little bit. Come on back into your lunge here, and we're going to bring the blocks up to their highest height. We're going to lift the heart, and we're going to look forward for a few breaths. We're squaring the hips, breathing. And from here, we're going to press the hips back, and you can bring the blocks a little closer to you. You can stay high. You can keep a slight bend in the knee. That's totally okay. We're hinging at the hips. We're keeping a gaze forward. Breathing. Keep the hips nice and square best you can. And again, if it's all right, on your last exhale, let's bring those blocks back down to lowest height. Come back into your lunge. We're gonna swing this left foot back around, come back into your tabletop. Let's go ahead and move the blocks out of the way and sit back on your heels for just a moment. Bring your hands to your hips. You can come up onto your knees if that's more accessible to you and just take a few breaths here, or sitting back on your heels, you can start to inhale, lift the heart, maybe look up. Exhale, drop your tailbone, round your spine, bring your chin to chest. So you're just rounding the spine. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale. Inhale, lift the heart, a little arch in the back here. Exhale, round. Inhale back to neutral. Once more, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, drop your tailbone. And then inhale once more back to neutral. Let's go ahead and come to the top of the mat. Move the blocks out of the way. Bring your feet out in front of you. Knees are bent. Grab behind your knees. Your knees are hip distance. Lift up through the crown. Gaze is forward. Inhale. Exhale, lean back into the hands. Tuck your tailbone. Come on back, down onto the back. All the way down. Head is relaxed on your mat. Go ahead and hug your knees to chest for a moment. Give a little hug. Little rock side to side. A few knee circles. In both directions. And then inhale, press the knees away. Let's extend the legs. We're going to bring the heels over to the left corner of your mat. Flex your feet. Cross your right ankle over your left. Take a deep breath. You're going to reach down through the fingertips of the left hand. So reaching towards the feet. And then go ahead and inhale your right arm overhead. You can even bring your arm into more of a goalpost position if that feels good to you. Let's take some deep breaths here and then just allow your inhale to be slightly longer. One more breath. Exhale as you slide this right arm back down beside your body. Uncross your ankles. Scoot your heels over to the right corner of your mat. Flex your feet. We're going to cross the left ankle over the right this time. Go ahead and actively reach down through the fingertips of the right hand. Inhale this left arm up and over, maybe just full pose position. We'll take some deep breaths here, allowing that inhale to be slightly longer than the exhale. On your last exhale, slide that left arm back down beside the body. Uncross your ankles and scoot your feet back to center. We're going to inhale the arms overhead. Nice full body stretch here. Flex through your heels. Reach through your fingertips. Bend your knees. Make your way over onto your side body. And we're just going to use hand and forearm to press our way back into seated. So back into your easy posture. And I just want to thank you all for joining me Monday mornings for Gentle Yoga. It's been my pleasure to teach this class, and peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Namaste.